Маме.
Сам открывает.
Бутерброд.
Там видел кислая капуста? Надо такое вот тоже делать с кислой капустой, купить жёлтую. Где море? Покажи, где море. Море. Алекс, где папа? Камера. Где мама?
Сзади нас. Нет. Потому что мы будем завтра уже не сможем. Он догонит тебя в треш-район. Загорай. Кира, перестань баловаться. Да. Они же начинаются здесь храпеть. Да. Ну не дергай, ё-моё. Смотри. Видишь, телевизор маленький сначала. Сейчас мы приблизим. Не трогай меня, не шатай кровать. Фу, соской. Ты с соской? Вот так, хорошо.
What's in here? Ах! Что ты плюешь ему обратно? Ты ступый.
Да, я к двери поставлю это же. Я надеюсь, ты босиком не ходишь? Иди оденешь шлепанцы. Хороший дождик идет. Я хотел рейнкоут взять, чтобы пойти на рыбалку. Yeah, we can just dress up like swimming.
No, why not? We'll just go natural. Look, тут такая большая рыбка.
Да, вот не рыбка, а птица, вон они летают, кстати.
Turtles?
Кстати, может там идти рыбу ловить даже.
Papa, you know they mutated? That's how they usually mutate. Like, dinosaur mutates to like, I don't know, bird, like close, probably turned up and mutated to that.
Видишь, трава какая здесь толстая?
Exactly.
Потому что здесь shadow from the building. И это самое, они поливают постоянно, и там бассейн. Вон.
Could we climb over?
Ты что, дурак?
There's like a gate right here, or I climb over. You hold on with your hand right here.
Высоко очень. Так, не спорь со мной.
Hold on with your hand right here and slide and jump down.
Тебе не нравится, что ли, здесь?
Мне нравится. I like it.
Как в Мексике, в резорте. Посмотри, пальмы у тебя, посмотри как. Как хоть один гостиница была такая, что круто было. Мы сколько раз останавливались. У поляков было тоже неплохо, там парк такой был, фонтан. Алекс, don't do that.
Yeah.
Чайки летают. У нее landing gear got stuck. Чайка пролетела, landing gear got stuck down on the left side. Ты не видел?
I saw You should watch us. He once locked me on the boat on the cruise.
Давайте перила, от перила.
Это действительно.
Это дельфины, конечно.
Да. Потому было плохо.
Не шатай перила ни в коем случае. Они же и всплывают, такого не всплывает никогда не выпрыгивает.
Only a little bit.
Нет.
Yeah, it does. It comes out of the water. I jump out.
$2. Заедем, другую возьмем. Пусть Алик копает. Алекс, ты копаешь?
Я не могу делать.
Вот для Алекса это отлично, а ты копаешь как слон. Вот там копай, Алекс. Жанна, с этим шезлонгом будет хорошо тебе уже? Он лучше даже, чем тот деревянный, потому что он прогинается, он делает, облегает твою кожу, делает как кушень. Будет уже хорошо? Спина не должна уже болеть, смотри, уже понравилось. Вот, сука, ведьма. Вот ведьма жена. Скупой 2 раза платит, понимаешь? И слез бы вчера б не было, если бы ты сказал заехать взять, чтобы на чем-то сидеть, понимаешь? Смотри, потому что ты сегодня будешь плакать от того, что ты будешь раковая шейка. Сейчас иду помогать. Если ты думаешь, тебя солнце здесь не возьмет, то ты глубоко ошибаешься. Ну хорошо, заедем. Не Walmart, а вот здесь эти магазины, Арабизнес. Помнишь вот тот?
Здорово.
Так не ломай.
Дай ему. I'm gonna dig like this.
У меня здесь лопаты очень сильные, вот так.
Где?
Они неплохие, это маленькие. Это мои души.
Ну хорошо, я поеду лопату куплю, сейчас приеду. Я не тебе это говорю.
Обойдется, будет только. Он и тут сразу
2 минуты здесь магазин рядом.
поломает, а?
это самое, навес, даже у нас был в той же раз, на детского, маленький бассейн. Ты же должна была бассейн какой-то брать. Он же сжимается вот такой, что его надуть можно. Где ты была это все время?
Зачем бассейн? Он хорошо купается так. Он же не маленький.
На твой болт, это твой болт. Яра сейчас придет, он пошел за сачком. Он пошел за сачком. Ты этих тюлек поймать хороших, знаешь, сколько можно поймать рыбу? Ты же здесь голодаешь, ты только питаешься то, что я поймаю с моря, да? А? Сейчас поймаем большую рыбу, зажарим, ты будешь вечером кушать ее, да, Жан? Маска? Я не буду маски, зачем? Ты хочешь одеть? Потом. Лера придет. О, давай по кускам, идем. Алекс, идем. Алекс, иди туда. Ты идешь со мной? Алекс, надевай шапку туда. Надевай шапку, пошли. Мы пойдем наверх, да? Сейчас ноги помоем, да? Ты с мамой ноги мыл? Нажимай мне. Вниз. Да. Пуш. Пуш, пуш, пуш. Еще. Давай свои ноги теперь. Давай я подержу. Давай, go. Go wash yourself. Быстрее ножки мой. Вторую ногу тоже. Бегом. Еще зад. Зад, еще. Еще смывай хорошо. Перед теперь давай. Ну, не снимай. It's okay. Давай. Вот так поставь ножки. Ну все, пошли. Пошли. Давай руки. Что упадешь? Ступеньки здесь. Вперед. Пошли. Сюда иди сюда, пошли по ступенькам. Идем по ступенькам. Давай. Видишь? Видишь окошки, пошли. Не беги, не, пошли. Видишь, у нас 215. Куда пошел? Вот это наша комната. Заходи. А тетя убирала здесь? По-моему, тетя не убирала. Пусти, баран. Лера, я накажу тебя. Ну, я записываю, баран, не убью. Так, считай до 2. Раз.
Я не понял, мы что, 3 часа сюда ехали?
Нет.
Ну как нет, когда да? Еще нет.
Что тебе постоянно все плохо? Слышь, они что-то ремонтируют здесь.
Yeah, that's a plane. I think, yeah, it's probably this one.
Он раскрывается, этот мост. Вот это Carnival, вот это все. Это Island. Чтоб ты знал. Слышишь, вот тот большой бакс вдали?
So where's the Disney?
Вот тот большой бакс, Disney World мы проехали давно-давно.
I mean Disney ship.
Он здесь не проходит, он уходит с другой стороны. Вот этот большой бакс, они там assemble the shuttle. I mean the rocket. Но они сделали on the other side, in case explosion or anything else, got water all the way around.
Yeah.
Вот тебе и я.
Why the
А? Казумел. А ну-ка, я сказал, нормальное лицо сделай. Вперед. Так это не значит, что надо идти как даун.
По-моему, я тебя вчера мазала. У меня чистые руки, да.
Смотри, космонавты висят сверху вниз. Ты маме рассказал на Депешмоде? Вчера был клип там, где они все как космонавты были. Ну а что ты ей не расскажешь? Ей же интересно, что она вчера пропустила. Что я тебе говорил, что control yourself?
The buses, you need to go right away. The last tour is at 2:15.
2:15, oh, that's early. Okay.
Смотри, мы успели. Окей. Да, но она тупит.
Старая бабка. Я сумку повесила, говорит, ой, я не смотрела как. Я говорю, я же с Лукаси. О, да, я не помню ничего. Здесь старая, да? Подожди, мне надо в туалет. Нет.
Давай быстрее. Он бас 2:15. Быстрее, Жанна. Жанна, ты знаешь, куда ты идешь? Вообще, ты знаешь, куда ты идешь? Или ты будешь бегать здесь полчаса?
Папа, ты чего не видишь?
It looks like that station. Look at that station. Daddy,
Выходим. Пошли. Лера, пошли, покатили. To your right. На правую сторону. We're going to the bus. That way, right?
Through the arches around the other side of the building.
Okay, thank you. Она сказала through the arch. Что такое arch, Лер? Пошли. На обратном пути пойдем в Souvenir Stores. Он для них паркуется там, для нас будет другой.
That's good to see you coming back. Tell you what, we do appreciate every one of you for taking the time out of your schedules to see us. Truly hope you have a fascinating day here at Space Center. We're going to pull out of the gate here very shortly. We're going to head out to the observation gantry. That's your first stop of a total of 3 tour stops today. Now the gantry is basically an observation deck that's built out next to the launch pads A and B. That's where the shuttles leave from. Well, to be honest with you, pad B is no longer a shuttle pad. It's under conversion right now for the future of the space program, the Constellation program, that hopefully gets back to the moon before long with the big Ares rockets. Now when you're done with...
Space Center. Our mission really begins with the landing of the space shuttle. As soon as we can safely approach, we get the crew and some time-critical science out. And once we are ready, we tow that orbiter over into one of the 3 orbiter processing facilities where we'll spend the next 90 days of its life being prepared for the next mission. While the orbiter is being prepared here in the orbiter processing facility, there's a great deal of other work going on. The crawler transporter will carry a mobile launch platform into the vehicle assembly building and set it down, ready to receive the stack. The solid rocket boosters and solid rocket motor segments will be stacked on top of that mobile launch platform. When that is complete, the external tank will be mated to the solid rocket motors, and only then is the vehicle assembly building ready to receive the orbiter.
Now, folks, know it's kind of hard to believe, but right now at this point, we're
So
still
sometime
almost 5
on the middle of
miles
our
away
trip,
from the vehicle
after
assembly
midnight,
building. You
the
see
doors
in front
will
of
open,
us.
and we will start the 3-mile trip out to Pad A or Pad B, either one of our twin pads that's capable of supporting a space shuttle launch. It takes about 8 hours to get out to the pad. Once there, the mobile launch platform is set down on its mating stools. It is mated to the pad, and we're ready to start another countdown. The orbiter is going to spend approximately 30 days at the launch pad prior to launch. At the end of those 30 days, we actually start the final process of counting down, which takes about 3 days. About 12 hours before launch, we do final servicing of the external tank. Just a couple hours before launch, the astronauts are taken out and they're assisted to get into the space shuttle vehicle in preparation for launch. The door to the orbiter is closed, the orbiter access arm is retracted, all personnel are off the pad. If everything continues to go as expected, we get down to the 31-second point, and that's when the computers actually take over, because we're now going to be processing faster than a human being can really follow. And if everything still looks good at T0, the signals are sent, the hold-down post explosive nuts are blown apart, releasing the solid rocket boosters, and we have 7 million pounds of thrust to start the trip into orbit.
Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery with a crew of 6 astronaut heroes and 1 American legend.
Folks, that American legend, Mr. John Glenn, oldest man to return to space at the age of 77.
25 feet. So we're right up in the top of the rafters. The orbiter spends about 1 week in the vehicle assembly building. After that 1 week, we're ready to carry the vehicle out to the pad.
And you've got the shuttle sitting on the crawler ready to roll out the door. And as it starts to roll out the door, it's just an awesome sight.
Well, we've got all sorts of people. It takes a certain individual. You've got to be not afraid of heights. You've got to be confident in yourself and be a team player when it comes to doing what we do.
And this job, I feel, is probably the best job with the space program because we have hands-on. There's only 60 of us that can actually say that they picked up the space shuttle, and that's in the whole world.
Okay, folks, we are coming into Launch Complex 39. Now, this whole complex here, well, it was built for the Apollo program back in the 1960s. You know, history's been made here now for over 40 years. I mean, like John Glenn, Neil Armstrong, Alan Shepard, Buzz Aldrin, Pete Conrad. Usually the first thing people want to know, though, is where do you keep the shuttles? Well, the fact is, what you call a shuttle, we call an orbiter. See, it's not really a shuttle until they get all the components together. The 2 solid rocket boosters, the orange external fuel tank, and the orbiter mated together. You have to look at it like this. We launch the shuttle, but we land the orbiter, okay? Now, if you start looking down in front of us to the right side of the road, you're going to notice 3 buildings up there with gray rooftops. You see 2 now, kind of. You'll see the 3rd one in a moment. Those are the orbiter processing facilities. That's where they take them to after they land and get them ready for another mission. Now, directly in front of us, closest to the road, is building number 2. That holds the Endeavour right now. Over to the right of that is building 1 with the Atlantis. It's got a launch coming up in November. Now, the 3rd building in the back corner you'll see in a moment, that's building number 3. And that's home for the Discovery. Of course, well, it's kind of on an out-of-state trip right now. It's orbiting the area. Now, the VAB, now it's the heart of this whole complex. It was originally designed to stack up 4 of those Saturn V moon rockets at one time. It was then converted for the shuttles, and now it's under conversion too for the Constellation program. Well, the VAB stands 525 feet tall. The base of the building covers 8 acres of ground. It is the largest single-story building in the world, folks. Well, there's no floors in the main area. See, it's open from the bottom to the top. Now, I know it doesn't look that big, but you have to understand it's an optical illusion. See, there's nothing out here you can really scale it with. Of course, it does stand 220 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty, so if you can take the Liberty and its pedestal and put them on some skates, you could roll it through one of the gray doors on the side of that building and never open it all the way to the top. Well, the doorways are 456 feet tall. According to Guinness, it's also the tallest sets of garage doors in the world, too. Each one of those big gray panels on the doors weighs roughly 34 tons. It takes them 45 minutes to open them from the bottom all the way to the top. Now, the VAB was completed in 1966. At that time, it was the largest building in the world by volume. Currently, it's number 4 in the world today. It has roughly 130 million cubic feet of space inside. Of course, it only stands half as tall as the Empire State Building, but you could break the State Building down into sections. You can fit 3 3/4 Empire State Buildings inside the VAB. If you did that, well, get Yankee Stadium out of New York, put it up on the roof, you'd have an acre left over to park the cars. Now here to the right front, you can see our press area out here. Look out in front of that near the water, you can see the flags flying in the breeze. At the base of the flagpole to the right in behind the palm trees, you'll notice a long blue box. That's the countdown clock. You see it at home on television. You'll get a better view of that as we clear those streets. Now here to the right front, there's a large barge. That's the Pegasus. And that's how we transport those orange external fuel tanks from Louisiana here to Florida. Now back over to our left, this white building closest to us, that's the brains of this place. That's the Launch Control Center. See, that's where the firing rooms are. Now they have full control over the launch, well, up to it during the first 7 or 8 seconds of flight. See, once that shuttle clears the tower, then we're done with it. We transfer control of the mission to Mission Control, and that's at the Johnson Space Center over in Houston, Texas. Now, about 30 days before the launch, the big crawler transporter moves inside the VAB and goes underneath the assembly of a shuttle. Lifts it all up, brings it right down the gravel paths to our left here, 3.5 miles from the launch pad. Now, this is not a 2-lane road for the crawler, folks. It's a one-way path. The crawler straddles the grass, part on the left, part on the right, all the way down. So I'll tell you what, watch your monitors one more time. I'll show you exactly how we get that shuttle to the pad.
Hi, I'm Bob Myers, system engineer for the crawler transporter. Been on the crawler transporter now for about 20 years. Crawler is a vehicle that's used to move the shuttle and the mobile launch platform from the vehicle assembly building to the pad. It does equate pretty much just like being on a ship. It takes about 18 to 20 technicians and 7 engineers to move it along the crawlerway. The crawler itself is about 6 million pounds. It's comprised of 4 trucks and 8 tracks. Each of those tracks have 57 cleats, each weighing a ton. The crawler carries 9 million pounds of mobile launch platform plus another 3 million pounds of shuttle assembly. So you're looking at about 18 million pounds rolling down the crawlerway at one time.
Pretty good sized tractor now, isn't it? Now folks, if you look to our left front, you can see the top of Launch Pad A. That's where Discovery left from last. That's scheduled for the remaining of the shuttle launches. Directly to our left, you can see the top of Launch Pad B. Now you'll get a better view of those from the gantry. Our transporter sitting right here to the left of you. Largest track transport vehicle in the world. 6 million pounds. The flat surface on the top of the crawler, about the same size as a Major League Baseball diamond. It's powered by 2 2,750 horsepower diesel engines, and that powers 16 1,000 kilowatt electric motors. Well, it's a type of hybrid, okay? Fuel economy? Yeah. 42 feet to the gallon of diesel. They don't take it on a long trip. Alright, we're coming into the gantry. Now folks, the first thing you'll do here is go to the right to a small theater. That'll explain the shuttle program. From there, you go on top of the observation deck and get some pictures of the pads. This is as close to the launch pad as you'll be allowed to get today. And when you're ready to leave, come out front of the snack bar and board a bus. Now, any bus you board here takes you to your second stop. I do need you to look for your loose objects. Purses and cameras and cell phones, souvenirs, water bottles. See?
О, смотри, тут народ.
Ты что?
Идем.
Ну что, не снимать ничего, уйти отсюда, а? Локоть меня толкнул. Руку давай.
Ready?
That one or that one? That one, right? Yeah. Вперед. Иди вперед за мамой. Бери Алекса за руку за вторую. Чего ты сюда идешь? Нет, туда. А нет, сюда, сюда. Ну пошли на лифт, да. Наверх. Это наверх сюда же. Ну хорошо, поднимешься по ступенькам. Иди прямо. За мной иди. Иди за мной. На лифт идем, а? Заходи. Пусть люди выйдут.
We are taking the elevator going down. Press it. Bye. Right here? Or no, what? Your daddy. Casey? Okay. Sorry. Oh, it's all right.
Бутылка больше, чем Алекс. Больше, чем Алекс, бутылка.
Yeah, there's something called Space Station 3.
Chance, I see the crawler. See it? Crawler?
Yeah, and there's something called Space Station 3D that there's a spaceship walking over.
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Bob, and I'm going to be your escort on over to our next stop this afternoon, which is the Apollo Saturn V Center. And as we travel, we're just going to be about 10 minutes, and we will go back by the vehicle assembly building here. You'll get another good look at that. And I hope everybody got a good look at the crawler transporter here. We don't normally get to see this like this, so this is a real treat. There's only 2 of these in the whole world. There's only 2. These were made by a company up in Marion, Ohio, up in the Midwest. And when this is carrying a mobile launch platform, it is the width of an 8-lane highway. That's how wide it is. I'm going to turn the video back on. You're going to be able to hear a section here where NASA will tell you how they recover the solid rocket boosters after a launch.
Hi, I'm Dave Frank, and I'm master of the Freedom Star. Freedom Star is a solid rocket booster recovery ship built by NASA back in 1981 for the primary purpose of recovering the solid rocket boosters from the space shuttle. I'm fortunate enough to work here for 23 years, and I like to think I have one of the coolest jobs on the Space Center, short of being an astronaut. Ships leave port about 24 hours in advance of the launch. Roll program. And the separation of the boosters is about 2 minutes into flight. As they separate, they start their long tumble down. And it seems like those parachutes are never going to open. They start to open around 2 miles above the ocean surface. And the chutes are completely deployed. 3 main parachutes per booster by the time the booster hits the water. And that's when we bring it back.
Алекс, я тебя накажу, сядь хорошо.
We see this 30-foot tower bobbing in the ocean. About 30 foot of them is above the water, about 100 foot is below the water. Once we've done our assessment, we'll launch a boat, one of our MBAR boats, with retrieval team on board. They'll disconnect the parachutes. Those chutes, each of them are recovered on the reels, on parachute reels that we have on our aft deck. We'll recover that frustum with the deck crane. We'll separate its parachute, we'll secure it on deck, and then we're ready to start our dive operations. That dive team is going to be contending with a booster that could be surging up and down in the water as much as 12, 13 feet. Timing's critical, and it's a pretty hazardous job. One of the most dangerous of anybody out here in the Space Center, with the exception, of course, of the astronauts.
Folks, directly off to the left, if you see the American flag over there blowing in the breeze, right below that flagpole, that blue box is the countdown clock that we use at launch time, and that begins counting down 72 hours prior to the launch. On the right-hand side, the vehicle assembly building is the largest single-story building in the whole world. It's 525 feet in height. It's all one story. They say it's big enough on top of the VAB that you could sit Yankee Stadium and still have an acre of ground left over. The flag that you're looking at is 21 stories on the VAB. The stripes are wide enough we could drive our bus down the stripes just like a lane of traffic. The Blue Canton Field is as big as an NBA basketball court. The stripes are 6 feet, the stars are 6 feet across from point to point, and it's all hand painted on the VAB along with the NASA insignia there. This building here on the right is what we call OSB, or Operations and Support Building. This building and the big building across the street we just passed take care of all the office work that is connected to the VAB. Now we're gonna make a right turn here onto the Kennedy Parkway, and you're going to see 3 buildings off to the right that look exactly alike. And those are our 3 orbiter processing facilities. It's these 3 small buildings right up here. And this is where the orbiter is towed once it lands back here at Kennedy Space Center. Next week, when Discovery lands back here at the Space Center, over on the landing facility, it will be towed into its home, which is OPF number 3 up on the northeast corner. And number 2, which is closest to us, is where Endeavour is at this time. And number 1, the second building over to the right, is where Atlantis is. I'm going to turn the video back on now so you can hear more about the orbiter processing facilities.
Here, you know, the first thing that I see is the people. And that's the first thing that I focus on. And it's a great opportunity for astronauts to come down here and meet the people that actually work on the orbiters and that get us ready to fly and get us flying safe. There's one thing that they all have in common, and that's their love of the space program and their dedication to getting the shuttles flying, getting them flying safely, and continuing on with this great mission that we have of exploring space.
The orbiter will spend the next 90 days right here in the orbiter processing facility, where we'll spend approximately big alligator in this hole here earlier today. One mission, reconfiguring that orbiter for the next mission. There's some alligators and some manatees that live in there.
You got to follow the procedure. That's the main thing. Safety is the most important issue when it comes to working up like that. Every procedure, you want to take it as being first time. You don't want to get too comfortable. You want to just keep making mistakes. You don't want to make a mistake working on this thing. It's very important part of history.
The shuttle is really the building block for...
Заходи inside. Слушай, у меня в прошлый раз тоже кассета здесь менялась, вернее заканчивалась. Кино. Такие вырубки, а? Какой позор. Да? Ты не хочешь смотреть? Кассету не могу найти за то, что ты гавкаешь. Возьми, положи себе это. Сейчас дверь закроется, зажмет их в голову.
Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob, and on behalf of NASA and Kennedy Space Center, I'd like to welcome you to Apollo Center 5 Center. This exhibit hall is home to many of the Apollo items. Besides the rocket, we have the moon rover use and training, the Apollo Command Module, and the Lunar Module. You can see that's your moon rock at the Moon Rock Cafe, or custom moon rock located near the Lunar Theater. We also invite you to visit Neil Armstrong's historical moonwalk into the Lunar Theater. You'll find the Lunar Theater is located at the nose end of the rocket. And ladies and gentlemen, after this short 6-minute film, we're going to go to the flying room on the Saturn V rocket. If for any reason you need to leave this show, please feel free to do so.